This appeared in an issue of the Levant, which is the journal of the Ottoman and Near East Philatelic Society. And the title of it is A Visit to a Rumelian Post Office in 1875. Now, Rumelia, if you remember from some of my presentations, is the name the Turks gave to a large part of the territory they held in Europe at the time. Territory that's now part of Greece, Bulgaria, North Macedonia, Serbia, even up into Hungary. After returning to the last station of the Rumelian Railway, I inquired about the Turkish post office. It was difficult for my kavas, that would be his guide, to find out where it was, but in the end we did. We entered an open hall. There, sitting on the ground, was a venerable old man with a long, white, pointed, full beard, apparently occupied with nothing but smoking his chibuk. The kavas presented to him my request that his Frankish effendi, Frankish was the term used for Europeans in Turkey. His Frankish effendi, whose name was so-and-so, was expecting letters from Istanbul. The venerable, who until now had not taken any notice of me, then gave me a benevolent and gracious look, and without changing his sitting posture, he bowed his upper body to me 3 times, passing his hand 3 times inwards toward his forehead. I returned the salute, standing with the same solemnity. Then the venerable reached behind him and took out a washing basket filled to the top with letters. Ishte effendum, he said, again with the same benevolent, condescending look. The kavas translated these words into Italian for me. Ecce signor, that is to say, here, my lord. I must confess that I was somewhat embarrassed by the basket full of letters. So I asked my Turkish kavas, of whose wisdom and devotion I was convinced. He informed me that the postmaster, that was the tight-lipped old man, by pushing his large basket of letters toward me, had asked me to choose for myself from the stockpile whatever would suit me. But Ali, I said, that can't be right. I can't rummage around in these thousands of other people's letters that have perhaps been lying here for years. Why not, sir? If the postmaster wants it that way, he is responsible for it, not you. What does the good postmaster want to do any different? Will you expect him to understand all the tongues of the Orient, Greek and Romanian, Serbian and Bulgarian, Albanian and Arnaut, Tartar and Circassian, Armenian and Persian, Spanish, Jewish and Gypsy, Hebrew and Arabic? Should he also speak all the Frankish languages and, what is even more difficult, read them? If there were a letter for you from your distant home in the north with an address in Prussian, which no mortal man understands here, can you expect the Turkish postmaster to read the inscription on the letter or send it to you, since he does not know who you are and where you live or whether you are here or there? You see, the people who live here in the city and for whom letters arrive frequently, such as all those who trade in tobacco or in silk worm eggs, they know on what days and what hours the mail arrives. Then they come here immediately and get their letters straight away. But what are you supposed to do with the others that nobody wants, that nobody is there for? So they are thrown into the basket. Not one gets lost here. The postmaster is a model of conscientiousness. True, there are a great many letters in his basket, but is that his fault? The only reason that more letters is that more letters arrive than are collected. Can the postmaster do anything about that? And if there are so many old letters in the basket, who is to blame? Only the careless people who have not collected them. We Osmanli pick them up. We do not let any piece of paper perish. The name of Allah may be written on it, and this holy name must not be allowed to fall into disrepair. If you see few Turks here, it is only because most of us are quite sure not to receive any letters, and because we send our news to ourselves verbally through the Tatar mail, that is, through their members. This Tatar mail brings written letters for the Franks and for you, Raja, but verbal news is for us. And if we have something of importance to order, we prefer to get on horseback ourselves and ride with the Tatar mail to tell our friends verbally. So it's not our fault. The Raja, however, should be ordered that if they have letters written to them, they should also collect them. And if they do not, they should be punished for their negligence. For the Franks, that is Western Europeans, however, an exception could be made, for they are from distant lands and are ignorant of our customs.